Welcome to You Ask 502, the podcast where real stories meet real skills from the plumbers, pipe fitters, and service techs of Local 502. I'm your host, Ryan Kleber. This isn't just another trades podcast. It's our story, told by the people who live it every day. From apprentices to seasoned journeymen, we're talking shop, sharing lessons, and highlighting the wins and challenges of life in the field. With over 25 years in the trade, I've seen a lot, and I'm here to bring those experiences and yours to the mic. We'll cover everything from technical tips and union updates to job site stories and career advice. So subscribe, tune in, and be part of the conversation. This is US 502, powered by Local 502, driven by you.
Hey, all right. Welcome, everybody, back to the You Ask 502 podcast. Today, we've got a guest here with us, Mr. Mike Masterson from Local 669, Sprinkler Fitters. What's going on, buddy?
Living the dream, man, every day.
That's right. That's right. So let's get straight at it. So for anyone listening who might not know you personally, like what do you do?
I'm a sprinkler fitter, Local 669. My name's Mike Masterson. I got in a trade in 1997, graduated high school on a Saturday, and started in the trade on Monday. So this is all I know.
I hear you. All right, right at it.
Right
Go like a helper or apprentice or what?
Started out as an apprentice,
okay,
at AA Fire Sprinkler, and just kind of lucked into the job. I've been very blessed my whole entire life, but I work really hard, but timing and blessings have been bestowed upon me, no doubt. I was throwing newspapers with a kid, and his dad was a sprinkler fitter.
Okay.
At the time I was in high school playing football. It was pretty good.
All right.
6'2", 230 pounds back then. I ain't seen that since.
Right.
But, I was there on the corner every morning, 4 a.m. He thought, well, he's big enough and I'll be there. I'm going to give him a shot. And the rest is history.
All right. There you go. Well, so your position now as an agent.
Yes.
So, I mean, what does that come with? Like, what's your territory? Like, our territory is like right down the center of Kentucky, about 25 miles each way, 65. Like, where are you at?
Yeah, 669. We're definitely a little different than most UA locals. We cover 48 states. My territory is the state of Kentucky.
Okay.
The local calls it District 12. It's all 120 counties. So it keeps me plenty busy.
I'd say so. So, is there a manager for Kentucky, or each state has a manager, or each district has a manager, and then, has an agent, and then there's one?
We have one manager.
Okay.
We have one manager, one secretary treasurer, one president, one vice president, but we cover 48 states. Within those 48 states, we have 41 business agents covering 48 different states. So some guys have multiple states. So
now,
having one's lucky.
Some jurisdictions don't carry the 669, right? They actually have a different number.
Yes, there are 15 different UA sprinkler locals.
Okay.
The big cities, New York, Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, they have their own sprinkler locals. But typically they're, the few counties around the city, and outside of those counties is 669 territory.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's a lot of land to manage.
It's a whole lot.
And you've been doing this 14 years?
I've been in the trade 28. I've been business agent for this is my 12th year. I'm coming up on the end of my 4th term. Like I said, the only two states we don't cover is Hawaii and Florida. And when they need a business agent in Hawaii, I'm going.
That's hilarious.
No.
I would have guessed you said Hawaii and Alaska. Florida, really?
Yeah, Florida.
They just don't have any kind of sprinkler code there?
Local 821 has jurisdiction in the entire state. Great guy, sister local. Cool. Fantastic.
All right. So for people who might not know, what is a sprinkler fitter? What do you do?
A sprinkler fitter, best way I can describe it. No offense to the pipe fitters out there, but we're pipe fitters that specialize in fire protection.
There you go.
So there's more codes on fire protection than there is on electricity.
That is true.
So, we always joke about sprinkler fitters being a size 50 coat and a size 2 hat.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got to be pretty sharp to keep up with everything.
Right.
All the changing codes every 3 years. We're on a new cycle code book. So
who determines all that? I mean, I guess because we do the same thing. We try to fight. There's not a whole lot you can do with pipe fitting outside of like boiler, but we always try to have, people on the boards of the plumbing codes, because Kentucky's super strict more than others, when it comes to plumbing. So I'm assuming is is sprinkler a nation thing or is that a state thing?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we're governed by NFPA, the National Fire Protection Association.
Okay.
There's over 300 NFPA code books.
Okay.
And like I said, those are on cycles. I happen to sit on two.
Okay.
NFPA 150, which is animal housing, which is perfect for Kentucky and all our horse barns.
That
And
makes sense.
then I got on NFPA 88A, which is garages and parking structures.
Okay.
And that one piqued my interest. It's with the evolution of electric cars, which
Okay.
seems to take a nosedive here lately. But,
Right.
Every parking garage it's getting built now
Yeah.
has electric charging stations,
True.
which changes all
Mhm.
the fire protection. Because, man, when those electric cars go, those batteries burn hotter than the surface of the sun. There's nothing you can do to put them out. Well, supposedly the military's got something, but all we can do is hope to cool it enough so the next vehicle beside it doesn't catch on fire.
Oh.
So
shit.
but then when you come along with all that, if you got a basement area, all that water runoff and
Yeah.
everything's pump rooms are flooding. It just generates so many other issues.
Yeah.
So, but that's why the code evolves.
I didn't realize that. So everywhere there's a charging station, there's extra I guess safeties precautions in place.
Yeah,
I'd heard that, but okay, hotter than the surface of the sun. That's
yeah. So the battery plant like Blue Oval in Glendale, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to them in the pre-job, and they're like, "Well, we don't know if we're going to sprinkle every cell where the battery sits in the rack or every other." And I'm like, "Man, I'm just a dumb old sprinkler fitter." But I told them the whole story, how hot it burns, and trying to keep the next one from catching fire. And
which, how do they not know that? That's crazy. Which shows you right there. Someone cut a corner any way they can.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They didn't learn that in college.
How many members kind of fall in your jurisdiction?
Kentucky, I'm pushing 600 members right now. I'm right around 580.
Okay.
Float around 145 of those are retirees. I think I have around 127.
You say 4,500?
No,
45.
145 retirees.
Okay.
Out of the 580. About 130 are apprentices. Those are pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
300 some active members.
I hear you.
Doing pretty good. I mean, when I took this job, when I was elected to this job, I didn't take it. In 2014, we had 365 members, and now we're pushing 580. So we're moving in the right direction. We have great market share, great jurisdiction. I think in Kentucky, we'll probably cover 85 to 90% of the market share done by union journeymen. And
is that most of I guess everything, because there's not sprinkler lines in houses. So I mean, you're talking about everything light commercial, industrial. Obviously.
We're probably a little weaker in a few markets. Residential, we still do the majority of the residential work in Kentucky, which is like plastic pipe and hotels or apartments. Inspections. There's every sprinkler system is required to have an annual inspection.
Right.
So we get several non-union contractors. May hire some guys to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot less physical, a lot more just walking and paperwork.
Right.
But, so like I said, we still hold the majority of that work, but those are probably the weaker areas. But as far as industrial work, it's still all building trade journeyman, man, all the way.
That's right. So you ran for agent 14 years ago. What did you expect the job to be?
Man, it was so long ago. Feels like a lifetime ago. No. I had a peek behind the curtain. I started as an instructor back in 2006. I was back when Dale Melcher and Larry Woody, they were your training coordinators at 502. 502 has always been fantastic. They've treated 669 like kings. It's been a great partnership.
We're family.
Yeah. And y'all just been really good to us. But I had a peek behind the curtain. I was pretty close to my business agent. It's funny how life works out.
Did you work with, who was it?
Doc Ahafer.
Oh,
yeah.
I know Doc.
Yeah.
All right. So did you work with him in the field?
I did. Okay. Yeah. He's the first fitter I worked with.
I was going to ask you that. That's the question I had.
So, he went to St. Helens. I went to St. Helens. He went to Butler. I went to Butler.
Right.
He started at AA Fire Sprinkler. I started at AA Fire Sprinkler.
Where's he at now, so we know where you're going?
Yeah, he's retired.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I told him. So, man, I hope you live to be 100.
There you go.
I'm following him.
Following you the whole way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. But it's So like I said, I had an ideal of what to expect, but and I'll be honest, and he could probably tell you this. It's a completely different job than when he had it.
Yeah.
Everything's evolving. The agent,
Generations play a huge part in that.
they do.
Yeah.
People. Honestly, a lot of it's technology.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I mean, business. The original business agent covered in District 12 covered multiple states.
Right.
I think it was like Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia or something. Johnny Gardner, he's still alive. But he'd have to be on the road, and you get to a hotel and you call your answer machine, try to call guys back at night, and now we got cell phones, like I like to call them, an electronic leash.
Yes.
And you got access 24/7, and some people do not refrain from taking advantage of that. And which is fine. It's like I always wanted to be the business agent for the members that I wanted.
Right.
But at the same time, I do have a wife and a son, and I would like to see them occasionally. know, so but that like I said, the technology I think has completely changed the job. But
it's well, you kind of like when we first step into these roles. I mean, it is different because it especially in your time, you're the young guy.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'll be 47 this month.
Okay, so
next week.
I'll be 45 in 4 weeks. Yeah, I'm right there. That's right.
Yeah.
So, but so we're relating to an older generation, and trying to speak their lingo, and and that's kind of who taught us. That's who taught me. The older generation. And then now it's like flipped, and it's like because the UA's taken off, so you need more people. So the classes get bigger. Well, when you have bigger classes and you outreach more to high schools and stuff, you have younger people coming.
Yeah.
So now you're trying to relate to 18-year-olds, and it's like
Oh yeah, I used to be the young buck, man, youngest guy at the union meeting. And like I said, when I started, there's probably 5 guys over 50. When
That's
I
crazy.
started in the trade, it was a small company.
Yeah.
And I've said it before. It's like I wanted to kill them. They'd be up on a ladder, and all I could think about was kicking that ladder out from underneath them. But now I thank them every day now for what they taught me.
Yeah.
And I didn't always realize it then, but they're just trying to mold me into a good journeyman.
Yeah. Well, there's something about the school of hard knocks. There's something about taking your licks, and I don't know.
And I took plenty.
Yeah.
I deserved most of them.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, we all got to get tamed, broken, they should say. Well, let's see here. What else? We got some other good questions. So, what's kind of surprised you the most?
Man, I tell you
because I know you're a good fitter. You know how to hang pipe, but I guess none of that can actually prepare you for where it takes you.
Right.
I know you said you're available 24/7, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
A lot of these calls we get at night have nothing to do with pipe.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, I need someone to talk to. Hey, I need
that. I wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna say mastered my craft. I'm gonna use that term loosely, but I was pretty good sprinkler fitter. I had worked in the office estimating, ran a service department for a contractor. I had taught fire protection to Kentucky for 8 years at that point. So it's like, man, I was on top of my game, but then you roll into these jobs, and it's like, man, I knew I'd be a sprinkler fitter. I thought I knew what it would take to be a business agent and protect my work, but having to be
a big brother to a lot of people.
A brother, that's what I tell them. It's like, well, half the time I'm a counselor, a lawyer, a priest, and you're just talking guys off the ledge, and you don't forget those conversations. I've had
may or may not have been an alibi a few different times.
Right.
What's the first oh shit moment you had as a VA where you realized like this is way more than I?
Yeah, probably. I think the first week I was on, there wasn't a whole lot moving. Second week I had orientation, and probably about third or fourth week the phone calls started coming in, and that's why I tell guys it was like trying to drink out of a fire hydrant.
Yeah,
there was so much coming at me, I couldn't take it all in. I thought, man, I should probably go back to hanging pipe
because it's just one of you, right?
That's it.
I mean, I'm sure you have somebody in your office, like I guess a receptionist or office professional. Or,
no, sir.
They can't say secretary anymore, but like the person back there kind of holding the fort down. Nothing.
Our union hall. Yeah, right. Our union hall's in Columbia, Maryland. So that's our hall.
Oh, wow.
And, like I said, our officers work there, our 4 international or our 4
right.
national officers. And we do have, secretaries there. Our JATC is in the same building, first floor and second floor. We own it. But that's as far as, like I said, office professionals. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm the business agent. I usually tell guys, and like I said, on best way I can describe it is 669 is kind of structured like the UA. We got our headquarters in Columbia. You got guys over, areas, regions, kind of, and that's how we break it down. But I'm it. I do. We do have a full-time organizer on staff, paid by 669, and 669's also got a member on the organizing staff for the Kentucky Pipe Trades.
Okay.
So I got 2 guys that really help me combat the non-union, which helps us maintain that market share.
That's right.
But as far as, business, that's it. I don't have, I'm it. I don't have a secretary. I don't have nothing. So,
so the non-union, I know that's something, we always harp on. I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Like, I know, in my trade, but like, what's the difference? Not that we're very dissimilar, but I mean,
Correct.
Like, what if you walked into a job and saw, a non-union, and then you look literally like the bay over was us, like, would there be a glaring similarity?
We've taken, we've stripped a lot of non-union guys.
Oh yeah.
Brought them into our trade. Like I said, I'm paid by 669. The 2 organizers are, but I'll give our members credit. I mean, they organize harder than we could ever dream of. I mean, when they see a non-union, guy in a supply house or whatever, they're on him. They're like, "Hey, man, you need to be over here with us. Here's my business agent's card. You need to call him."
Yeah.
Most of the work, you and I have been fortunate enough to train under, 30-year journeymen.
Yeah.
And they learn from 30-year journeymen. Well, the non-union hasn't had that.
Right.
They haven't been awarded that opportunity.
Right.
So
that's a good way to say it.
They haven't.
Politically correct way. Yeah, you're right. It's that they don't have the training and the, the complete skill set.
Right. It doesn't take a lot. A lot of those guys come over, and I'd say 60% of, this district came from, non-union.
Yeah.
And were organized in. So I got a ton of them. And I tell you what, man, they honestly, some of my best members, they know what it's like on the other side. They appreciate what they have over here. And
as opposed to someone who's had it from day one.
Yeah.
They kind of take advantage a little bit.
A little bit, you just, some guys are born on our health care, and they complain about it and stuff. And it's like, man, you don't know what it's like on the other side, man. And we got, fantastic healthcare coverage. Yeah. It's a Cadillac plan.
It really is. I mean, you pay for it, but it's there. I mean,
it's Cadillac prices.
Yeah, Cadillac prices, but you got the car.
It's there. Right. It's yours. It's but like I said, they're some of the best fitters I worked with, came from there. Some of them, the non-union guys, they had trained themselves, so they didn't have somebody to turn to, so they had to read the code book.
Yeah.
So some of those guys, I can turn to and ask them anything, man, and they can spit out an answer.
And it is. It's kind of like self-taught.
Yeah.
Not 100%, but, it's like, I'm going to, learn from reading, which, you got to decipher things yourself. But if you're not deciphering it like the way it's supposed to be, then it's like, hell, I've been doing this wrong for 15 years.
Right.
So.
And, you hear that a lot, even on our side.
The code books, they're not layman's. I mean? Right. It's very technical.
Yeah. But like I said, that, some of them just weren't awarded the opportunity to train under seasoned journeymen. But they settle in just fine. They come over here, see how we do things, and take right off, man. Yeah. It's fantastic.
It is. It really is. So, I mean, all of Kentucky, I mean, what's it take? What's it take to cross Kentucky? How many hours?
Every bit of 6.
Okay. All right.
It's like I've driven, if you're leaving Ashland and you want to drive, I've left down through Pikeville, and, Corbin, Monticello, and along the bottom, back over. I've driven 8 hours and never left the state.
Damn.
So, it's a lot to cover. Like there again, the membership does great. A lot of times they see something going up, they'll call, "Hey man, I see a job over here," which carves out a lot of back roads for me. It's I can drive straight to a location and not have to try to find it on my own.
Right.
And, that is one drawback, like I said, being on these code committees to help, write the next book. Everything you join just takes more time.
Right.
And, it's like, I'm tapped out. I don't have any more time, but that's where the members, like I said, they help, and having organizers, man, it's just a blessing.
It's also a part they don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you got this cush job. And there are days it's very nice, especially in the winter. I'm not going to lie. It's nice,
Yeah.
not being in subarctic temperatures
Yeah.
on the river, but you're also spread as thin as you can be,
Yeah. Right.
So because, of course, my territory's way smaller than yours, but I guess that means you're away from home quite a bit.
Yeah. I got fortunate to have a very understanding wife.
I was going to say, yeah, she
married my high school sweetheart.
Okay.
Been together for 30 years.
She's a very sweet woman.
Yeah, thank you. Great kid.
Yeah.
She holds it down while I'm gone. That's something a lot of membership don't see. Every city has building trades and labor councils, and as 669, we belong to all of them.
Yeah.
So I go from Paducah to Ashland, monthly.
Yeah.
And then you throw in the pipe trades,
Mhm.
and
because you being the agent here, you're on all these almost by default.
I am
the Louisville building trades. I mean,
Yes.
we're on a couple committees together now, so it's
it keeps you busy, and like I said, just spreads you thin, and you can't be everywhere you want to be, and that probably bothers me more than anything. Not being able to do the things I want to do because the things I have to do, and it's part of it. I missed a funeral last night. We lost a member, and I was dressed, ready to go, and things came up, and couldn't make it there, and it's like there's just one of me, but I got to keep running the local. Things got to get done.
Mm. And that's just Kentucky. Like I said, I mean that you also go all over the country to do stuff too. Like we ran into each other a few different times in some other places. So, are there places like you didn't think you would like that you kind of are fond of now that you get to visit often?
After having this for a while, getting a little more comfortable with travel, airports, some of the bigger cities. Man, you just really dread having to drive through Chicago, but now it's a breeze. I mean, dealing with some of those things. Actually, like I said, kind of learn to enjoy them. Enjoy the peace and quiet too when I get out in the sticks somewhere.
There you go.
Especially if I lose cell phone reception for a while. I just give myself
nice.
a minute to think and strategize and plan the next move. It's like, I really look forward to some of those.
Yeah.
But I just can't spare it too often because it just puts me further behind. So.
Yeah. I know we talked earlier. You like West Virginia, Michigan, like some of the, like you said, the sticks places.
There's some beautiful states out there. Virginia. I got my wife's family lives out there. Reminds me a lot of Kentucky, but it's got some ocean front.
Yeah, right.
Michigan's a wonderful state.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, man. I've been out to the Dakotas and just beautiful territory.
I bet that is beautiful.
Yeah, fantastic. But there ain't no place like home, man.
That's right.
I don't want to move nowhere yet. I still like it here.
Everything's great here except the allergies. If I could get away from the Ohio Valley, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're on the Kentucky pipe trades together.
Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
As soon as I came on in 2014, I came on
like a de facto.
Yep, I'm it. I'm the rep. So, I came on to the pipe trades e-board, I guess you'd say, and then back in 2021, I believe, Kyle Henderson nominated me for vice president. So I've been vice president of Kentucky Pipe Trades for the last 4 years, which is good. Having this job for 12 years, man, I'm one of the longest tenured
people,
guys on it. So as vice president, it's not a paid position or anything, none of them are, but if the president can't be there, I'll help run the meeting and stuff. And like I said, I've been through enough monthly meetings over 12 years. I can do that blindfolded. So
it's changed a lot. Jamie was here, Chad was here. It's pretty different.
I've been through, I guess 3 502 managers. When I was instructing, Baum was on.
Roger, Danny, now Scott.
Yeah. Them guys just. I can't thank them enough. Always treated me like a king, man. Just day one, never forgot about me.
Yeah.
Always, what about the sprinkler fitters? When it comes to, teaching class, whatever, they just always plug us in. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of hard to miss too. You're an imposing fella. So yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, like, hey, don't forget about me. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
I'll
yeah,
steal
I
your
hear you.
sandwich.
That's it.
Hmm.
So that's pipe trade. So do you have a favorite pipe trades event? Because we do, we go to other pipe trades too.
Yeah.
Because, and it's good for networking. You know, what I mean,
Fantastic,
like especially when we had
That's the goal.
when we had the Blue Oval,
Mhm.
had a lot of travelers, over 1,000 in
Yeah.
town at one time. But before that, during COVID, when we kind of shut down, we were kind of reaching out to other states who were still doing it, and I
Yeah.
mean, we sent a lot of people, like Indiana a lot,
Yeah.
Michigan. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of people help me out. So
Yep.
it's good to go out and meet people because then you can put a face with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When you do that, it's hard to hit the FU button on a friend.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
So it's always for a number you don't recognize. Like, nope, not got time for you. But when it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's Mike. Hey,
Yeah.
man.
I've got over 3,000 contacts in my phone. So if I get a phone call from a number and you ain't in my phone, I'm not answering.
Right?
You better
Yeah.
leave a message.
Yeah. The odds are I don't know you, and we're probably not going to know you.
Yeah.
So,
But as far as pipe trades, it's like I said, a great time to network. We don't have a hiring hall 669.
right.
The agents always do their best to try to help place guys.
Okay.
We're typically in touch. We know where a lot of the work's at. So it is a great time to catch up with other agents, just see what they got going. It ain't quite like 502, dispatch. I mean, I think you're the longest dispatch.
Yeah. Tenured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
For
poor Marty
502. Yeah.
took that over, which it's, like you said,
It
it's
never
good.
ends.
It puts you in touch with everyone, which is
Mhm.
what I always wanted to be, is be
Yeah.
able to help and assist and be there. And I think I can still do that in a different
Yeah.
role. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
and also I thought I always did pretty good at dispatching, so now I can kind
Obviously.
of shape Marty and
Perfect.
just
Yeah.
just to
Helping.
be available. Yeah,
You know how much help you need.
Oh yeah,
It's a lot of work.
and he's a good dude. So
Yeah, very good. Yeah, no, yeah, 502's blessed.
Yeah.
But as far as events, I've always probably let myself enjoy the Tennessee pipe trades more than any, and a lot of that has to do, it runs over the weekend, and
it's January too, so
Yeah.
that's kind of a dead period.
Yeah.
It's not dead, but that's going to be your lease because it's
Yeah.
usually when winter is like full on.
Yeah.
So that's a good spot to where you can minimize phone calls,
Right.
and it's like, all right, I
Right.
can actually meet some people.
have
And
a
it's the first
conversation without getting
pipe
pulled
trades of
away.
the year.
Yeah,
So that's when it's like everyone comes out of hibernation. And it's like, hey, and you
Yeah.
kind of get to see the new guys, the new
Yeah.
electees. So it's good.
yeah. No, it's like I said, I can let myself enjoy that a little more, have a little more in depth conversations. But with the way we're structured, man, and we're road fitters.
Right.
It's on my UA card. We're road sprinkler fitters.
Yeah.
So a lot of our classes are on weekends. All
Mhm.
my apprentices, they go to class on Saturdays. If we're having a continuing education class, it's going to be on a Saturday. Most are backflow classes,
Mhm.
and we instruct. We have them over the weekend. It's the only time my guys are available.
Yeah.
Other than that, they're 350 miles from home. So
Yeah.
I try to attend as many of those as I can.
Which you do. I've seen
Yeah.
you all of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's I just work a lot of weekends. Not to mention, when times you got to travel, be somewhere Monday, so you're flying out Sunday. It's
Yeah.
like I work a ton of weekends, and
Yeah.
even in Tennessee, we meet in the week over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
But there is a little more free time, and the phone ain't ringing. I think that's
Mhm.
what kind of lets
That's
me.
nice.
Yeah.
So when you're on the road, I got a couple questions here. Just like, have you ever had car trouble in the middle of nowhere? Which
I've been blessed. I've
Right.
been on the side of the road, trying to change tires. Flat tires or whatever in the middle of nowhere. It just happened.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, we're
knock on wood.
yeah, we're mechanical by trade.
True.
And I just changed my own tire, get back on the road.
There you go.
Been fortunate enough, it hasn't been any more serious than that. But the downside is it's like our schedules are so tight. I don't have the time for that.
Right.
And in the field, I was always early. Early's on time, on
Yeah.
time late.
On time.
So but with this job, it's like, man, I'm cutting close. Seems like everywhere I go, just because I'm.
Well, if you're always on, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like your
right.
shift doesn't end. There is no shift. It's
Right.
just, continuing.
Yeah.
You got a favorite go-to road meal when you're traveling? You're like, I can't wait to ride through Ashland and stop at Little Bob's. Or,
Right. Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of good places to eat in Kentucky.
There really are.
I found some, little hole in the walls and, Bowling Green and,
Bowling Green's got a
Owensboro.
goodie. It's a foodie town.
Yeah, it's a foodie. Yeah, for sure. It's a nice Greek restaurant down there. It's, It's an old church. They still got stained glass windows and
Okay,
stuff.
I think I've eaten there.
Have it? Yeah,
my
man,
brother-in-law
it's-
lives there.
Okay,
He always tries to take us to a new spot.
yeah, that's really good. And Paducah, man, they got some great spots. And a lot of times I'm rolling in late, and I've eaten at hotels more than once.
Yeah,
Just go to the bistro and get you a flatbread and go to bed because tomorrow's coming.
Tomorrow is coming.
Yeah.
You listen to podcasts, music, you ride in silence. Like, what's your go-to?
Yeah, usually I'm on the phone. So
fair enough.
Yeah, right.
It's hard to get into podcasts when the phone's ringing.
Yeah, but I do. I try to keep up on, politics is probably one of the least enjoyable aspects of the job, but it has such an impact on us. I got to stay on top of it, and it makes it tough.
Wish you could find a channel where they were telling the truth. Like, I don't want either slant. I just tell me exactly what's happening. Let me figure out whether I like it or not, and we'll just go with it. But everything's so opinion based. It really makes it hard to keep up with some stuff.
Yeah, but it seems like if I get free time, it's trying to catch up on what's going on. And,
right.
I try to, when I talk about meetings, try to stick to state issues more than national, because whatever's going on nationally really doesn't affect Kentucky immediately,
right?
But things that are getting passed here,
right?
That affects my guys right out of the gate.
For sure, 100%.
Try to stick to that when I can.
What's something about sprinkler fitting that you wish more people understood better?
Man, well, it ain't easy.
Yeah.
And a lot of our pipe comes up prefabbed. So a lot of the trades, especially fitters, man, they'd razz us. Oh, just a puzzle piece. It's like, it kind of is.
May or may not have made that joke
right.
a time or two.
But it's all calculated. So any offsets, any fittings you put in, we're being fed from one end of the building.
Yeah.
And we got to get a certain amount of pressure, velocity,
to
the other end of the building. Yeah. And you put too many offsets in, you ain't gonna have enough water for that head to operate.
Yeah, and it's supposed to. Cover every square inch when it's
right. So if you ain't getting there because you had an offset around some duct work or something, it's an issue. And then any offset you do make,
you just got to upsize the pipe up, or I guess
you could,
just whatever it takes to kind of get around that.
It
is that a calculation you guys handle, or is that something you take to like an RFI for an engineer and say,
some of it in the field, bouncing off the
25 foot out of round? Right. What's that going to do for the flow?
I've had them, where we just maybe loop it into another line where it's cross fed, things of that nature. But that's what I tell guys. Like, man, a lot of times, there's when it comes to building, there's 5 or 6 revisions. Well, at some point, our pipe's got to hit the job. So they might just go with revision 3 and they design it and put it on the job.
Yeah.
So I got this, prefab pipe, but it's not correct.
Right.
Walls have moved and everything else. And if you cut the first piece, that moves every piece past it.
It does.
And, you're just constantly trying to, put her together, but it's a good trade. It's old school ladders, pipe wrenches. I mean, it's not,
well, at Blue Oval, I mean, where were we out? 300 foot in the air, it seemed like, on these lifts. I mean, because, your stuff goes in first.
Yeah, it goes in at the roof.
Goes in at the roof.
Yeah.
Then the not the iron worker, sorry, the sheet metal comes in. I mean, iron workers too, with their duct. And then, and it's like, all right.
Yeah.
We're below y'all, but we still got to get to the, to the ceiling to put a hanger. So it's like, how the hell you get through here? Yeah.
Got to manage that. But I'll have guys who see our wage package or whatever, and they're like, oh, man, I think I want to be a sprinkler fitter. I'm like, okay, you scared of heights? Oh yeah, I'm like,
that's a
they
problem.
put our sprinklers in at the roof.
Yeah, these aren't yard sprinklers. Yeah,
right.
This is like
And these rack jobs nowadays. I mean, in order to sprinkle them, you take the lift up, might be 120, 150 feet in the air.
Yeah,
and you get out of the lift to sprinkle the rack. So that's a puckering feeling.
It is.
Yeah, take that first step out of the lift on the rack that hangs pipe.
Well, every movement,
Yeah.
I mean, if you move a half inch, it's going to sway you 6 feet, and then you're like, hold on, all right.
Right.
It's pretty wild.
Well, it ain't for everybody. I always had a comfort zone about 40 feet, and even me, once I got over 40, I mean, I still had to acclimatize. It took me a day or two, but it's my job.
Over 40, you're like, well, whatever.
We're
going to die either way, so might as well. Just another 10 foot.
It's the difference between an open casket and closed casket at that point, so no big deal.
Cremation, for sure. How do you keep 600 people across all these counties on the same page? Like,
yeah, that's tough, man. But I'm very blessed to have an engaged membership. You know,
Do you just talk to like the foreman and or like, I guess the project managers, which I don't know, that's with the company, but
no,
does
a lot
do
of
your
ours
companies,
are members.
are they?
Yeah,
That's good.
a lot
Ours
of
are
our
too.
a lot of our office staff, working in contractor offices are members, full fledged building trade journeymen. Wages, benefits. Like I said, getting the word out to them. The membership, we're so spread out.
Mm-hmm.
They do a great job of policing themselves.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, it don't come to me if it's a big problem.
Right.
Most times we're working together and say, "Hey, Ryan, you can't do that." Oh, I didn't know. And
Right.
that's the end of it.
That's the end of it.
Yeah. So they police themselves very well.
Which is good. That's what you want, really.
It is.
I mean, that's
a lot of the reason I go to these classes on weekends. I tell them what's changing, what's going on, answer questions, and like you pay it forward, man. I educate the guys in class. They go to the field and they educate the guys they work with, and it's I try to stay ahead of everything. I mean, that's impossible, but I do the best I can to cover things before they become an issue.
Right.
Which
proactive.
Oh
yeah. Because being out in the field.
Yeah.
That's one thing as we've seen. You don't really get to these spots without being a problem solver. So
right.
We've seen a lot of the issues. So which is
too
good.
many.
So do a little backtrack real quick. I know you said you started right out of high school. What pushed you toward the trades?
Man,
here's a better question. What'd you want to be when you grew up? That's always
right. Yeah. I grew up. I had a firefighter across the street called him Cold Bucket.
Okay.
Good dude, man. He's gone now, but I think he worked 24 on, 48 off or something. I was like, hey, I can get down with that,
right.
And I had a few family in the trades. A lot of them worked at Ford, Philip Morris and stuff, maintenance, whatever.
Right.
And, I knew in high school I didn't want to go to college.
Yeah.
I ran with an older crowd in high school.
The guys who didn't go to college
got in a little trouble,
Yeah,
but nothing. Nothing. Luckily, I wasn't caught doing anything too bad.
Right.
But I seen them. Actually, they did. They went to college, played some football, and of course, this is 30 years ago.
Yeah.
They're getting out of college. $60,000 in debt.
Yeah, man.
Struggling to find a job, pay $27,000 a year.
I know.
This is back then. I'm thinking, man, sprinkler fitters making $20 an hour then. And it's like $40,000 a year. I'm like, no college debt. Like, sign me up, dude. And I just, as a kid, man, I'd take bikes apart. I'd take 3 apart, make one. And I just always kind of been
mechanically inclined.
Yeah. And
which is what we look for when we go after people,
Yeah. I just always wanted to work with my hands. It's weird, because I didn't want to wear a collared shirt. I didn't want to sit in an office.
Yeah.
I know, and life just keeps living, driving me in that direction. And, I guess I'll just go where the good Lord needs me, do the best I can, what I got.
Well, I mean, you think about it, like, if you were, in the field, I mean, who would you want with a tie and a jacket in the office? It's like, someone like me, someone who I know has been through and not someone handed something. So, I mean, it's good to see that, if you got to put a jacket on, you're doing it, right. I mean, you're not selling insurance.
No, just out of respect.
Men and women.
So it's out of respect for the membership. My manager, he's East Coast. He's from New York, and he's a suit and tie guy. He's old school, or it's like, what, you're a business agent. What part of business don't you understand?
I mean, you're not. I've heard that from some retirees.
Right.
Like, it's like, if you ever become manager,
you
better be wearing, slacks every day. And
like, that's why I try to explain to him. It's like, man, in Kentucky, blue jeans are business casual.
Yeah. Granted, I church it up when need to be. I don't have a problem doing that. And, but it also gives you the flexibility to be able to run to a job. It's like, all right, I got boots in the car. I don't can't put boots on with slacks. I mean, you could, but you look like an idiot.
So.
Like,
that's a lot of me,
going
from point A to point B. And if I see something, job going up, I'll stop by.
You'd be able to address an issue at all times. So,
And you walk on a job site, sometimes I'm talking to non-union guys. And, you walk on there and, slacks and a polo, they know you don't belong.
Yeah.
But, if you're in jeans, work boots, and a, T-shirt, or, you can slide in there pretty good.
We're coaches. How many coaches on the sidelines wear suit and tie?
Right.
I mean, it doesn't really work, old school. Andrew, those guys. But now it's like, you look like the crew, So we kind of, I don't know. I get it.
Yeah.
So what's something your family's had to sacrifice that most people wouldn't think about? And it's probably your time. I mean, we don't have to get too deep on that.
Right. No, it's definitely my time. I'm just not there. I'm gone last night.
Yeah.
I'm in Louisville. I'm close to home, but I live in just south of Louisville, but I can't make it there.
Well, how old's your son now?
He's 17, senior
Okay.
year of high school. So I've been gone a lot. Wife does a really good job of holding the fort down while I'm gone, and when I get home, I can spend quality time with him.
Right.
I'm not doing a lot of the little stuff. She takes care of all that and pays the bills and all that. So when I get home, I can have some one-on-one time
Right.
with my kid. I think that's really, really helped. Just having a good wife by my side. If I had more than one kid, right?
Come on, girl. He's 17. Yeah, we can come stay with me tonight.
It's you got me thinking something else.
Right, yeah.
Lost train of thought.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it was really nice. She started working at his school when I got this job.
Okay.
So he was going to grade school. She got on there. So she was at school when he was at school, and she was off when he was off.
That's good.
And that allowed me to do whatever I wanted. I could go wherever I needed. Right. That's one thing. Like I said, we cover 48 states. Yeah. So if 669, if we're having a annual seminar and we all got to get together, I mean, we might be in Denver, we might be in Vegas, Indianapolis. We could be anywhere. And you try to find something geographically where everybody easily get to, and there's so many of us.
You got one coming up a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, in December. Yeah, going back to Vegas. Yeah. So I don't gamble, so I didn't leave nothing in Vegas. So I have no need to go back there.
Right.
But, it is cheap. The flights are reasonable.
Yeah.
The rooms are reasonable. The food isn't. Food used to be really cheap out there, but
oh my gosh,
ain't no more.
No.
But we look at that. It's the members' money, so we try to spend it responsibly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But it's like I said, my wife should be home holding the fort down while I'm gone.
Bless her heart.
Yeah.
What would you consider your favorite part of the job today to be? Now that you're,
it's a bittersweet one. When you're helping people and you're counseling and you're walking them through issues and during the moment, I'm probably ready to pull my hair out,
right?
Because I got 47 other things I need to be doing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm helping people. And that like I said, I grew up, in St. Helens, old Catholic boy. It was instilled in me, do unto others as you want them to do to you. And I just want to help you. I want you to be the best you can be. And, which, is just a person in general or, a journeyman sprinkler fitter. It's like, try to pass all that down to you. And then hopefully one day I can retire and you can pay my pension.
Something I wish more people would kind of understand, it's like being a leader is hard and it can suck sometimes because you are responsible. Like people are eating because of you. Like you need to and which puts a lot of your stuff on the back burner and put your family on the back burner sometimes, you know what I mean? But it's and like you said, your wife understands that, which bless her heart. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Is that you're doing things for the greater good of 600 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Plus, and you're holding down Kentucky, which represents the surrounding states. I mean, it's a ripple effect that, and people can look at that and say, I can look to Mike if I need something, or even you help us out a lot. I mean,
we call each other. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I've got some counsel from you before, and it's good.
It's tough.
Yeah,
but we're all, like I said, very similar. The trades, we're all different in our own way, but at the end of the day, we're all cut from the same cloth. It's like, man, I can walk up to any 502 member, man. We can start chatting it up right away because we're all in the pipe trades, man. It's just all part of it.
It's all part of it.
Yeah.
Even construction in general. Except maybe iron workers. That's a different breed. We'll let that go. But they're good people.
Yeah.
But
my wife's uncle's a retired iron worker. Love him to death, man.
I knew some great iron workers.
Yeah.
So the labor management conference. So we were, when was that? Was that October?
September.
Yeah. Okay. When we were in Vegas?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking Kentucky Labor Management was in September, but
Yeah.
no, you're right. It was
Beginning of
October.
October, right?
Yeah,
It was,
the Mechanical Contractors Association.
which was good.
So,
They used to call it the tripartite, but
Yeah.
now it's kind of the labor management conference. But it was good. I mean, we were in class for 4 days, but
yeah, it's intense.
and it was a lot. You know,
Yeah,
topic of the day, organizing.
Yeah,
so,
right.
But we need the people, and you already
Yeah.
have people. I mean, if
They're doing our work anyway.
the NBA expands 30 basketball teams, they're not going to go to
Right.
I mean,
Ain't
they're going
hiring
to
kids.
They're going to go
you know.
find people who are already playing ball to come
That's
up. You
it.
know what I mean? So it's what it
Amen.
is. Yeah. So
Good analogy. Yeah. No, it was a good conference. It just, but everybody, people ask me, "Oh, you're lucky you get to travel." It's like, dude, I see the inside of meeting rooms. That's all I see. It's like I'm in an airport. Get to the hotel,
Yeah.
sit in a meeting room all day. Might go out and have a dinner, but
yeah,
after that, it's like I probably take it a little more serious than some do.
right.
I'm being paid to be there. I'm being paid
Exactly.
to learn something.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sit my ass in the chair and I'm gonna learn as much as I
Yeah,
can.
you got to come back with something.
Yeah, bring it back to the membership. So, like I said, that's just the way I look at it. But it's Vegas. Once you've been there a couple times,
yeah, it's like you said, I don't really.
And
and it's cool to get out and walk around, but it's like,
yeah. By the time we get out of meetings, it's starting to get late. Yeah. I don't want to be.
No, it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
So, it flooded the night we left.
Oh, I didn't. Or
we left that Friday morning, and I saw something later at night, a huge deluge come through, and Paris and a couple other places were underwater on the street, which is right across from where we were staying. It's pretty wild. So,
wow. Yeah, I feel sorry for them there, but I'm glad we made it out on time.
Right. So the convention's coming up.
Yep, UA convention.
UA convention. Yep. How many guys you got going?
We're 669. We're about 16,500 members wide, nationwide.
Now how does that work? Does each district?
No, they do it as a local. So we're trying to hit 17,000 members, and I believe it's 17,000 members. We'll be able to take 170 delegates.
Damn.
Yeah.
So how do they pick the delegates?
Yeah, we operate a little differently. So it's kind of like a business agent election or anything. We have nomination forms, as it's just we don't have monthly meetings. I do 3 meetings a year. So with that, any member in good standing can get 20 signatures of other members of good standing to be nominated. Then that goes on a ballot. Then the ballot goes out in the mail and in a self-addressed, paid postage returned envelope. And members can sit at home and vote for who they want, as far as business agent or UA delegate.
UA delegate. Okay.
And
have you already had your election?
No. Talking about
for the UA delegate, you got to have it by March, right?
Yeah,
what they told us there.
Yeah,
in Vegas. Yeah,
the locals pushing hard to hit that 17,000 membership. So we know, but I think nomination forms probably be due in December.
Okay,
and then the vote will be out probably January, February, back by March, and on the cash sheets.
Okay. How long do you collect? What's the window?
For UA delegates, like I said, this could be my third.
You automatically go, right?
No, I still got to get elected in, and highest vote getter gets it. Now, I think if I weren't, if I didn't win, if I wasn't nominated by the membership, I think the local would send me anyway. But I still got to run an election. I got to get put in. So, but fortunately, I usually do pretty good. I've just met a lot of people, doing this job and teaching classes, and been a lot of places over the last 28 years. So I usually,
it's weird.
I'm up there pretty good. But
you figure you're the steward, I guess. It's so if you had to pick someone from every job to represent the job, you would pick the steward.
Right.
No different than if every agent from every district who already deals with the UA and already had you think they'd be an automatic bid.
I'm not. So. Business agents within 669, agents and organizers aren't officially officers. Now, our officers automatically go.
Okay.
But see, our officers, they run a nationwide election. So my election, I am elected, but it's by the membership of Kentucky.
Okay.
So it's not a nationwide deal. So, like I said, that's why I'm not automatically plucked to go to the convention.
I got you.
I have to run to be a delegate, but I'm in the mix. Membership in Kentucky wants me there.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I've been fortunate. This will be my third, so past 2, I haven't had any issue getting enough votes.
This will be my second, and it was cool last time. I mean, it's a 40-hour.
It's a lot of work,
and I've probably said this on this podcast before. When we walk in,
Yeah.
I mean, we're walking in 7:30 a.m. start at 8.
Oh, yeah.
And Milwaukee band is just jamming right there. I mean, which is crazy. So they've been in hair and makeup since like 4 a.m. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're up there dancing. I'm like, I'm still trying to get coffee. I mean, they're already
Right.
closing the show.
Right.
It's like,
but at UA convention, like I said, that's where they're doing the proposed bylaw changes for the UA
Right.
Constitution, and we got to
mhm.
match our local bylaws, and it's important. It's
Yeah,
important to be
it
there.
is.
It's going to be set in stone for the next 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
So it's important to be there, and to try to guide your local in the best direction you can. And I think the big one last time was apprenticeship voting.
Yep. Time
was that time
before
for?
last.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the one. I missed that one.
16, then 21.
Yeah, 16. I went to 21.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody's got mixed opinions on it. But
Well,
back in the day, 669. If you were an apprentice, you didn't sit in the seat. You went and stood in the back of the room.
same.
You kept your mouth shut.
Yeah.
You let the journeyman, handle shit. And then 5 years goes by, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, now we need you to show up and vote. And I was like, no, dude, you don't want to hear from me.
Right.
You sat me in the back of the room. So
I get
I
that.
think it's been good. It's their money too. It's their future. It's like,
yeah, they pay the same 5%,
right.
And the same, monthly stamp than everyone else. You know what I mean, with less wages. So
yeah,
I mean, it is good to be vested. You don't want a first year in there.
No,
but
right.
Fourth and fifth year. I mean, they usually have seen
know the
enough by
game.
then,
yeah.
So they know
They've
what's
seen
going
enough.
on.
Yeah. Seen enough to form a good opinion.
Right.
Most times.
Hopefully, they have a good journeyman to kind of guide them in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, let's go. I'm looking forward to it. I guess the officers. I don't think anyone's running opposed, right?
We'll see how many. I guess membership in Kentucky nationwide will run. I mean, if we got 170 delegates and 300 people running, the top 170 vote getters get it. And I think there's a cutoff at 100 votes or something. If you don't get at least 100, you don't go.
For the delegates?
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about like the UA officers.
Yeah. No,
I think they're all, even the ones that are special, they get actually officially.
Yeah.
Like Robbie was a special rep for a while because he was appointed,
Yeah.
and then he was made official at the last.
Yeah. Okay. UA officers. Yeah. I don't think any of them are being opposed. I can't imagine anybody, running against this administration.
No,
I think the UA's in, it's in good shape, man.
It is. Yeah.
It's it's big. It's a lot to take in, a lot to understand. I mean,
right.
But at the end of the day, they do a great job. I mean, I've seen, like McManus. I think his, last few picks have just been, fantastic.
That's good. I've never really talked to Mark very much. I've talked to Mike a lot. He's a really good dude.
Oh, Mike Pleasant, fantastic.
Yeah, he's a real good guy. So
Bill Fraley, he just got plucked.
Yeah,
going to be HVAC, and I mean, he was manager in Cincinnati, 392 pipefitters, and
good dude. And I think he wanted to go, so it actually,
he
good,
did.
Good for him to see, your dream come to fruition.
Yeah,
I mean, you put in work and you work hard. And
just
it's like,
such a great person too, though. I told McManus that I seen him at a 669 seminar. I was like, man, you're doing good. You're getting the right people in the right places. They care. They want to do the job.
Yeah,
that's what you want. So
he's very bubbly.
Yeah, no, he never met a stranger.
No,
and
his wife's sweet. I mean, it's actually so. You want to have that when you bring someone in. Nothing's going to drag them down from their job. She's going to help. So it's good.
And he's very active on social media, and
well, yeah, he's very active on social media.
A lot of the younger generation is where they get their information.
Right.
So he puts it out, very well. It's like I don't get on there much. I just
I don't. I'm a creeper. I don't post. I just watch.
Right.
See what's going on. Yeah. Just get you in trouble.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody cares what I think.
No, not really.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you think one thing and then you educate yourself on the subject and you have a completely different opinion.
You etch it in stone, essentially.
Yeah.
It's like, I've changed my mind 15 times since then. There's a whole new way of looking at things.
Yeah.
But you get caught up in the moment. And it's like, well, you said this.
And, I'm old South End redneck boy, man. I mean, I go from 0 to 100. Real quick.
That's right.
And, you get on there and something, pissed me off.
Something hurts you. You just like,
and you want to fire off and think, I need a beer. Let me think about this.
I do. Yeah. It's crazy. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about? It's been pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very informative. Podcast. I had a few more questions. I don't know how long you got here.
I got time, man.
We can keep it going.
I feel like there was stuff we didn't cover yet, but I don't know. I think we've just had fun.
Well, but that's kind of what it is. It's just a conversation that people get to like listen to.
Yeah.
Well, we just kind of talked about some stuff like that. So, all right, here we go. We'll reach out to the young crowd. So, how do you do your application process? So, ours is going on right now, September through December. Yeah.
See, you touched on that, and I was thinking about you guys because yours are due, and you know, with 669, we're different, or y'all know that we hire all year long, and my contractors do the hiring.
Okay.
So, my role and all that, typically a contractor call me, say, "Hey, Masterson, I need to put on 3 apprentices. We got this big job. I need to put on some apprentices." And I'll either say, yes or no. Or I might say, "Hey, man, Ryan's off. Pick up Ryan. I'll let you hire 2 more." That's kind of my role in it.
Right.
We 669, we kind of pride ourselves on running 0 unemployment.
Yeah.
So generally there's nobody off.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I just give them the green light to go, or they call me, say, "Hey, we need 3 apprentices. You got anybody?" And that's a lot of the organizing.
Yeah.
And when we organize guys, the local does the paperwork as opposed to the contractor. So a lot of 669 contractors are like, they love to organize guys.
Yeah.
For one, they're already doing it.
Yeah.
They know what a hanger is. They know what a beam clamp, a Vic pallet coupling. They know all
Right.
that. So, and we do the paperwork. So, that's generally my role in hiring, but we just do them as needed. So, if you get a big job, you need guys, we take them in. Some of them come in organizing, through organizing.
Right.
So, you might have, it's a 5-year apprenticeship.
I was going to ask, that's my next question. Is it 5? Yeah.
And we have 10 classifications. So if an apprentice is doing everything he's supposed to do, gets a raise every 6 months, plus a contract raise.
Okay.
So a lot of apprentices, they're doing everything they're supposed to do. They're doing all their lessons. They're getting all their training hours, and they get good evaluations on the job site. They'll get 2 apprentice raises a year plus a contract raise.
That's nice.
So with the contract, if they're making 50% of what I make and I get $1, they get 50 cents.
50 cents.
Yeah.
So how do you do your negotiations? Like, who negotiates your contract? Because surely the wages in Louisville aren't the same as they are
in Alabama,
Paducah,
right.
Alabama, New York City.
They're the same in Paducah, so we go by
so
district.
It's state. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good.
Yeah. Pretty, I guess it's by state. Generally we do it by district.
Well, you just happen to have Kentucky. So
yeah.
Do you spill over into Indiana or
not at
Tennessee at all? Nothing.
No.
You just.
Now I try to police Southern Indiana. I spent half my career, working in New Albany and stuff. So it's 30 minutes from the house. The agent over there, he's 2.5 hours from Southern Indiana. So I try to help him police this area. But it's the same with Northern Kentucky. It's a 2.5 hour drive for me. And
go to Ohio guy like that.
Yeah, he's 10 minutes, from the Kentucky line. So he'll help me, police that area at times. And
Florence.
so, yeah. And I love that area. Covington, the guys are great. The food's great. It's a cool area, but.
Quick sidebar real quick.
Go ahead.
So, Florence, y'all, the water tower.
Yeah.
So I read this the other day and I actually looked up, there's pictures of it. It used to say Florence Mall.
Oh.
And being it was like, I guess a municipal thing or something, like you can't advertise because it was advertising the Florence Mall, which is right there. And they was like, you got to take it down. So they somebody climbed up there and just took off the 2 drops on the M and just made it a Y. And it's like, put an apostrophe and come back down. I was like, all right, it's good. And that's how Florence, y'all.
Bro, that's some Kentucky shit right there, man. That's the way we operate.
Well, it's like, take the water tower down. It's like, I can just fix the M, but all right, But that's how Florence, y'all, came about, which is wild. I never knew that.
No, I didn't realize it. No, it's really cool up there, man. Good culture.
Yeah. But sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's
cut
fine.
you off.
Yeah, I like it. Like I said, some of those areas. I am an alternate on like Cincinnati Building Trades, which dips down into Kentucky. But since the agent up there, that's technically his.
Right.
He's the delegate. I'm an alternate.
It's Timmy.
Well, for the UA, Ed Suter, he's a business agent for 669.
I met Ed.
Yeah, great guy. Yeah. But he's lived his whole life in Cincinnati.
Okay.
He worked his whole career in Cincinnati. But like I said, he'll hit that one a lot, which, sometimes on those days I'm, needed in building trades and, Lexington or
Right.
Owensboro or and it's like there's no need in 2 agents sitting in a meeting in Cincinnati
True.
and nobody being in a meeting in
Right.
Lexington.
Right.
And some Northern Kentucky guys, I'm sure they'd like to see me more, but they're good dudes. And like I said, Ed, he keeps me informed on what's going on.
I mean, it's a team.
It's just a group effort, man. And if I can make it, I make it. A lot of times I'll end up in New Albany covering for the agent in Indiana.
Right.
Well, Ed's in Cincinnati, kind of covering for me and him.
Right.
And it's nothing's perfect, but it works.
Yeah, man. Gotta help each other out.
Yeah. It's just I wish they'd hire more, but then you'd have to raise, work assessment. Nobody wants that. So
that is very true. That is very true. Do you foresee any topics dominating the UA convention? Is there anything new? I don't think there's any kind of.
I haven't heard any big initiatives. I mean,
I think mental health's been a big thing lately, and I got to go back and forth on that. I know it's good, but I also don't.
I know
you got to be tough
and
in
that's
some areas, but I don't know. I hate to be because I don't know.
They push, there's a big initiative for that, and
which guys go through a lot. Women go, on the trade. I mean, the pressure, like you said. I mean, I'm sure you yourself could have breakdowns if you weren't a stronger person,
right?
Just being away from your family, but
and like I said, I grew up, love thy neighbor, want to help people. I want to do all these things, and then on one hand, on the other side, I just don't understand it. And, people struggle and they call me. I'm like, work has always been my therapy.
Yeah.
If I was having, a hard time at home or an argument or a sick family member, it's like work is where I went to forget about that.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. A go hang pipe. I don't have to think about that for 8 hours.
Right.
When I get off, I can deal with it. And that, like I said, work has always been my therapy. And some of these other people, they can't separate it, and I can't relate.
Right.
And that's not good.
Yeah.
When you're trying to help someone sometimes, but I do the best I can.
Same. And I try to relate and I try to be compassionate.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like
what the compassion I got was?
Yeah.
They throw an 18-inch pipe wrench up. Yeah.
I could read the room.
Yeah.
All right, I need to tighten up.
Yeah. Right.
So, but some people are just like, I don't know why he's mean to me. I'm like, well, I don't know why. I'm sure he's told you something 15,000 times in a row, and you're just not like write it down if you can't remember it. But I don't know. It's because in the one person you do be like, oh, you're fine. It ends up being something serious. And I feel like an asshole. So, you just try to be there for everyone. And that's, a lot of people don't have a big brother or, I know that's something, I was the oldest. I didn't have a big brother. So it really having an older journeyman, like a father figure type person, kind of take you under their wing and kind of mold you and show you. I mean, I had a lot of that because it's older guys I was with. So it was just, you know what I mean? Whereas some of these young men and women don't have that opportunity to have, you know what I mean? So you don't really have that, you're just a sweeper. Or, you know what I mean? And
the world's changed. It's, I have a few guys come over here and they're like, man, where's the brotherhood? Where's the unionism? But this or that. And it's like, man, it ain't the same world it was 30 years ago. And, a lot of people, both parents have to work.
Yeah.
One's, they're working 2 different shifts so they can watch the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And, so when it comes to union meeting night, maybe they're coaching,
mm-hmm.
the little league team or whatever. And it's like, they just don't have the free time.
Yeah.
I feel like, big conspiracy to keep you busy. So you don't really see what's going on. But guys are covered up. And, it's like when I got this job, I thought, man, I want to, just like talking about some of these events, get to know each other. And, you don't want to, you're going to answer the phone if somebody's your friend.
Right.
So it's like, man, I want to have some events. I want to, start getting guys together. Because for years, labor management, St. Patrick's Day Parade, all that stuff, it was me and the business agent. That was it.
Yeah.
Nobody else showed up. And so eventually I was like, man, I'm not going to spend another weekend of my time. I work enough of them,
right?
For nobody to show up or for the same couple guys, which I appreciate their effort, but it's like, man, they're the guys that do everything. They're at every meeting, they're at every class, and it's like, and they deserve, some recognition, but it's like, man, it's just another day. But I it's hard not to take it personal, but I don't think it is personal. I think everybody's just that busy.
everyone's just in their own life.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it does suck because there's usually, I was just telling someone the other day, we had an event, actually a member had passed, it was a celebration of life. And I look around and it's the same 25 people.
Yeah.
You get a few
Come
extras
to
here
every
and there,
meeting.
but it's the same, you know what I mean? It's the same people. And you have a cookout, it's the same people.
Yeah.
You know, the picnic does really good at bringing a lot of people around.
Your picnic.
Well, we go hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like, God, like,
I know.
girl, like, come, you know, we're supposed to be, and that's how you meet people. And that's how, you know, but again, you know, I don't know what they have going on a Sunday afternoon. You know,
a lot of them, that's all legit. You know, guys call me, hey, man, I'm sorry, you know, that kid had this or that, or, you know, it's like, I get it. You know, we're all busy.
Our elections, we have 2,800 members.
Yeah.
So the first time I ran, which was 17, I think we had like 783 people come and vote. And that's the most.
I was going to say, it's a good turnout.
Since and before I've ever seen, you know, since I've been voting. And still that was, you know, we had way less members in too. So that was a good percentage, but still, now there was 8 people running for agent. So, you know, there was a lot of interest in being there, but it's like, and I get not the big turnout when, you know, there's unopposed people, but like, still, I mean, if you can't come to an election and just, you know what I mean? Just,
that's what I tell guys. Like, man, come to a meeting. Oh, Mike, you're doing great. You know, we trust you. You're fine. I'm like, man, I appreciate it, but you know, I got an officer here chairing my meeting, and he don't know that.
Right.
You know, it's like, I mean, he knows that, but it'd be nice for him to see it and feel the love.
Right.
You know, but it, you know, it's fine. And generally, with our mail in, it's like, man, you do everything you can. You mail it to the member. You know, it's in a prepaid self-addressed envelope back to a third party. It never comes to the hall.
Right.
You know, goes to a third party, and they count everything, give us the results. 22 to 24%, you know, participation. So I think this last, our last contract in April, I think we were pushing 30% of the membership actually participated. It's like, man, it's the same 30% that drive the local to make every decision.
Yeah.
And, you know,
you tell people like, well, I don't like the way the local's going. I'm like, well,
did you vote?
There's only 20% here. It's their agenda. Like you have to show up.
Right.
And, I mean, change it if you want it.
Yeah. You know,
I'm just a conduit. Like I don't, you know, I will present what I think is best, but if you tell me to pack it, then okay. I'm not going to force it down your throat.
I work for you, dude.
Yeah, man.
You tell me.
So, you know, that's.
No, for sure. So, even with everything we try to do, we don't get great turnout. And like I said, some of there's no excuse, but other things, I think guys they get that busy, you know, and like I said, I know a lot of them, their kids are in travel ball, and I mean, they're nonstop. Yeah. Great guys, man. You know, leaders, but they don't have time for anything else.
I got a theory too. You know, back in the day, it was a lot of nepotism. Like, my kids, you know, your cousins.
You weren't related, you weren't getting in.
You're right, but you grew up in that environment.
Yeah.
So therefore, you understood. You saw dad come home, or you know, uncle come home, grandpa. You know, you knew, and then he was going to the union meeting. Whether it was, you know, you had a game.
That's it.
My birthday, Jesus' birthday. It don't matter. You know, if there's a meeting tonight, we're going. And then, of course, now you bring in people who have no clue.
Yeah.
And they just don't really get it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing, but it's hard to ingrain something in someone that hasn't been, you know, almost by osmosis, just by, you know, just being a participant unwillingly, just kind of, I'm just here and I'm seeing it and I'm soaking it in. I don't really know what I'm soaking in.
Yeah.
I just know that's what I'm supposed to do when I'm older. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like it's weird. Like, you know, if you're dad was a piece of shit to your mom, you know what I mean? It's kinda, like, you know, you kind of like, you know, so it sucks, you know, that's why you always got to pay attention to what you say around kids, but it's kind of the same thing, you know, habits,
you know,
without even realizing it kind of wear off on people. And it's like,
I didn't even think about it. You know, like I said, a lot of my family was in unions, you know, Ford, Philip Morris,
you know what I mean? So
both my parents, retired letter carriers, you know, mailmen, my mom and my dad. I don't have two dads. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But you know, both of them retired letter carriers. I actually got married at their union hall. I rented out their union hall, and that's where me and wife ended up getting married. Had the reception right there and everything. You know, like, so, but it's, you know, dad was union steward at, you know, at the postal office, and like I said, you just knew it. And, you know, going to meetings, you know, taking care of business. It just probably did absorb some of that through osmosis.
Well, you know, the 30% that do show up, you see out at stuff, you see their kids, but their kids know, they grow up, you know what I mean? But then we did a bad job. It's like, well, I did this.
Yeah.
You're never going to have to work in the snow. You're going to go be a whatever.
Right.
And then it's like, so the generation that should know what's going on leaves to go, be a lawyer, doctor, at best. God knows they're probably doing marketing or some dumb shit, that TikTok can do for you. But either way, and then you're bringing in new people who have no idea.
Yeah, the guys asked me that. You gonna get your kid in the trade? It's like, man, I'd love to get my kid in the trade. It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
And it ain't the trade it was when I got in, but I would. But he is not interested. But, he's a good, big, strong kid, man. He's got a 4.2 something GPA, and he's going on to other stuff, But
where's he going to college at? Does he have any
probably? Well, he's going to college now. It's a senior year of high school.
So he's taking AP courses.
Yeah, he actually leaves, his high school and goes to a community college.
Okay.
So he's taking college credit courses or like a dual credit program. That's Jefferson JCTC.
Right.
But he may stick with that. May go to U of L. He's thinking about getting in maybe sonography or radiology tech or something.
Okay.
And so may stick with the community school. I think Moorhead's got a good program. So kind of on the fence, and he won't be 18 till after he graduates. So
I was either.
Was you? Okay. So
I turned 17 December of my senior year.
Oh, really? God. Wow.
Yeah. And I was not gifted. I don't know how that happened.
I was 18 in November of my senior year. So I was one of the first to drive, and
I was the last.
Well,
I rode a freaking school bus beginning my senior year.
Yeah.
And I've never forgot it. Yeah. That's why you have a chip on the shoulder all the time.
Dang. Yeah, that would not
be everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't really grow.
I think I was a sophomore when I started driving.
I was still growing at like 21.
Oh, was you?
Yeah.
No.
I think I grew like 8 inches after high school.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, I think I've been this high since about 8th grade.
There you go.
Been packing on the pounds ever since. But just don't get taller. Just keep getting wider.
The block's getting bigger. The skyscraper's not getting taller.
Right.
Oh, shit. Hey, man, it's been fun.
No, I've had a great time. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks for doing it.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for 502.
Absolutely. Thanks 669.
Yeah, man. Keep banging it out together. It's been good. It's been a hell of a ride.
It has.
28 years. Got about 8 to go.
All right.
So hopefully in 2033, we can hand this off to somebody else and they can deal with it. But my goal is just leave it better than I found it, and
that's all you can do.
Yeah, I think we're on the way to that, but still a lot to do. Never done. So
that's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah. There's never a dull moment. I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Yeah. So, but no, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really do.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you.